Hello, my dear loving friends. I don't know how many of you will go through this video. I don't know how many of you are going to be sticking to the end. But I want you to hear me out here, not as if a tarot reader, not as a spiritual healer, not as a medium. Okay, just a human being, just the part of your life that you have made me into your life. I want you to feel heard, seen, and understood here. I am creating this space for all those who have gone through something that you were not able to express fully to the world, to the event, to the person whom you hold so dear. You know, I read every comment, every whisper between the lines, every pause in someone's voice when they book a reading, and over time, I have realized something. There is a pattern, a frequency, and energy. It's not just about the cards. It's not even always about a partner. It's about something deeper, something silently screaming inside of so many people. The feeling of not being met where their heart lives. And it breaks me because I don't just see it as a tarot reader, I feel it as a woman, as a soul who has been through her own silent battles, her own ache for a love that sees, touches, and truly holds. I come across so many energies, people craving to be seen, touched, chosen, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, fully. Sometimes I come across comments, okay, where they say things like, why does it feel like I give everything and get nothing back? Or I see signs, but I feel emptier than ever. When will I meet this person? I am waiting when they will finally reach me. All these questions comes to me. These aren't just words. These are cries from a heart that has been learned how to keep functioning while quietly fading inside. It hurts. I see it, I feel it as a medium, and it truly make my heart ache. So today I am here not as a spiritual guide, not as an intuitive reader, not as a psychic, not even as a tarot reader. I'm here as a friend, as someone who has walked barefoot across the same fire you are in right now, as someone who knows what it feels like to give and still feel invisible, to share a bed but not a soul, to stay but silently wonder if your heart will survive it. And that is what this space is about. Okay? These aren't just videos. Don't just look into this series. They are just videos. Someone is just speaking. No, they're not. These are conversations. The ones we never got to have, the ones where someone finally gets it, where you don't have to perform, pretend, or even explain yourself for what you were feeling, what you were going through. Okay? And that is what this space is, what I am bringing for all of you. If your heart feels unmet, unheard, if your deepest desires have been placed on hold for too long, this series is for you. I'm going to talk about the things we are not supposed to say, the things like marriages, usually people couples faces. No, don't always show on the outside, right? The grief, the longing, and the inner death that happens quietly inside committed relationships. And I promise this won't be sugar coated. There will be no suggestions. There will be practical advices. This will be honest, real, logical, emotional, and deeply personal, because you deserve someone to sit beside you and say, yes, I see it too. I am on the same page. I have gone through this too. I understand you. I listen. I'm here. Now, let's talk about it. Not just what is happening in a relationship, but what is happening inside you. Welcome to the truth you never allowed to speak until now. So, welcome to this beautiful journey we are starting together as a whole. Welcome all of you who are going to joining me in this journey. This space is purely for you. We're going to talk about something today like most probably most people goes through this kind of things but avoid this topic, that I gave everything. I gave everything, but still I feel like I am not enough. There is a type of pain that doesn't leave bruises. It doesn't scream or shatter windows. It simply stays quiet, lingering. It sits in your chest even at 2 a.m. in the midnight, when the person whom you hold so dear in your heart lies beside you. They're snoring peacefully, and you are staring at the ceiling wondering why loving them feels like abandoning yourself. This is for you, the one who gave everything, your time, your energy, your dreams, your identity, and still ended up feeling like it wasn't enough. I know this because I have heard most of the stories like this. I have gone through a lot of stories like this, and maybe you are like the person watching right now who says, but they are not bad. They provide, they care in their own way. So why do I feel so invisible? I shouldn't criticize my partner. They are doing their best. They love me. We are a couple. I shouldn't talk badly about my partner. You may even question me that who are you to say all these things to me? You may criticize me. It's alright. Sometimes we even fear to admit that something like this is subconsciously brewing inside of us. We fear the judgment of God. We fear the judgment of the unknown. Society, rules and regulation that has been imposed on us through generations. But listen one thing. Love without emotional presence is like air without oxygen. You can breathe, but you are still suffocating. You need to see yourself where you are standing, to let the person in front of you live a life that feels like so truly happy. But are you happy? You have been trying to survive in a space where your soul doesn't feel held, where affection is accepted but never fully returned with the depth you crave, and you keep asking. You kept asking, is it me? Right? No, it's not you being too emotional or too needy. It's you being aware that you were meant for more than just being tolerated. You were made to be chosen, not just once in a wedding bow, but daily in effort, in words, in understanding. I know how exhausting it is to explain your feelings over and over only to be told you were overthinking. Just stop it already. Enough is enough. I don't want to hear about it anymore. You were just being paranoid, isn't it? I know how draining it is to shrink yourself, silence your truth, perform like everything is okay, because at least they are not abusive. But neglect is a slow poison, and emotional starvation is still starvation. You have reached a point where you were no longer asking for flowers or dates. You were asking for presence, for someone to sit with you and ask, how are you really feeling? And not just hear the words, but listen to your silence. You don't need fixing here. You need feeling. You want them to listen. Even if you are just talking like something that doesn't make any sense. You don't want someone who just says, you want someone who sees. You don't want someone to judge you just because you were speaking, just because you were crying, just because you were babbling, just because you were what? You were expressing yourself. And if they can't see the gift that you are, that is not a reflection of your worth. That is a reflection of your emotional capacity. Some people love you in the way they were taught. Transactional, reserved, limited. But just because they don't have the language for depth doesn't mean you should become mute in your own heart. If you are doing that, then stop. Stop. waiting for them to finally get it. You were not hard to love, you were just asking for a level of connection that requires emotional courage. And not everyone is ready for that. So, what do you do when love starts to feel one sided? You stop begging, you stop explaining yourself to the emotionally unavailable person, and you start returning home to yourself. You create the intimacy you crave. How? First, with your own soul. Ask yourself that you have been avoiding, what you have been avoiding, what dreams you have silenced, what joy you have postponed, waiting for them to notice. Start from there. And then, if you still choose to stay, stay with boundaries. Stay with self respect. Stay with a voice that no longer whispers, just to avoid shaking their comfort zone. And if you decide to leave, even after realizing it, please don't feel guilty for choosing peace over performance. It is not your fault. Not at all. You have the right to be loved in the way your soul understands, deeply, intimately, reverently. You deserve forehead kisses with intention, not just because it's a routine. You deserve conversation that touches your heart, not just daily updates about bills and groceries. You deserve to be someone's safe space, not just their obligation. You have carried too much for too long, and I want you to know I see you, I feel you. I know the kind of strength it takes to smile through emotional hunger. And I also notice you are not alone in this. There are people, souls, partners, and guides, even if not in your current world, who are capable of meeting you where you are. Don't give up on that vision. You are not asking for too much, you are asking for truth. If this message resonated with you, please take a breath. Place your hand over your heart and repeat, I am not invisible. I am not too much. I am not unloved. I am simply waiting for the love that matches my soul. I am here when you need to talk again. And I promise next time you speak your truth, someone will listen. Maybe that someone is finally you. See you next time with another reading, another video. Till then, take great care of yourself. Bye bye.